All right. I'm back. Score some goals to start this off. Ah, and when it's pop-up only, I really miss a few moves. Boom. All right. So I need to get back to what I was doing. So let us start checking these files back out. All right, so before I left earlier today, I got the stage game modes working. All right, so what other things do I have here? The mission folders are carried to builds, stage mode to current level when it starts, and all that. Let's just go kick off a shipping build, and we'll verify some of those things later. So, what I need to do is I need to get the missions actually loaded into the UI here, is the next thing. So, I need to, it's going to be mission selection screen. I need to rig that thing up. So I think what we're going to do is the missions shouldn't be changing, but they might change. So the mission selection screen should fetch the mission data. So if we go to our screens and go to mission selection screen, I'm also going to need the inputs, the events stuff. So that's in Dashkin game data events. Okay, so we need this fetch initial data, which is going to grab all this information. We're also going to need to register for like missions. So do we already have we have mission data updated, and we have select mission. So mission data updated is what we need to register for. Okay, so let's do this. So let's register for the event. This will be EV mission data updated. On missions updated, event.info. Okay, so if we're in the game, So we need to actually fetch the mission data. So let's go take a look at where that is. Did we already make a utility function for fetching mission data? Doesn't look like it. So let's go ahead and make one. So this will be a static. It looks like we need f missions, get mission data. Alright, so I believe we already have a mission data manager thing. Is it inside of somewhere? Did we make a mission manager? God, I don't even remember. We did it somewhere, right? There we go. Get mission manager on the game instance. Mission man. Alright, so let's make an F mission structure. And we're going to fill it out. Alright, so mission man. What sort of missions do we have? And where in the hell did we put the mission manager? Dashkin missions.h, which is inside of game missions. Ah, there it is. Mission manager. Alright. So we can get the game missions right there. So get current mission, set current mission, clear current missions. We have a list of missions. I think what I need is a fill missions thing, so get game missions. Hello, Chris Goku 2. Good evening, sir. This will be fill game missions. I am currently working on the mission system, continued. I need to hook up the single player mission screen so that these are all actual real things in the game. Because we got it all mocked up, but I now need the real data. Also, I don't know if you've been hanging around the past week, but I have been helping out with the Maelstrom launch. And so I was working on their Linux server builds yesterday. But I might be called to help out on some of their stuff too. Okay, so we need this fill game missions. So where is this F missions object? Go to game objects. We have missions, which is just an array of missions. Which is this U-Dashkin mission. What I need is an F mission. How do we get an F mission from a U mission? Is that in game data.h? Okay, so a U-Dashkin mission has an F mission on it. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add another function which is going to not be callable from there, and we'll just get a reference to this. It'll be like get game missions ref. So we'll add that in there. So mission man. Who, the closed place? The closed place. No, the Maelstrom guys are their Steam game. If you're interested in their game, that's the one I'm helping out with at the moment. They're some guys I worked with down at San Diego at Molten Games, and they're so they launched it and they wanted my help for server stuff, so I've been helping them out, and we'll continue to help them out. But today I'm not working on that game. I'm working on my game. I'm working on this game. Working on those missions. Alright, so we're going to get game missions ref, and we're going to iterate over all these pointers, and we're going to do data.missions.add mission.mission. So we'll do it all like that, and then we'll just return data. So I need to go create those two functions, get game, fill game missions, and the rest. So just going to drop a beta. Decided to stay loyal to console. Very cool. Alright, so this will be missions. Do we have like an add all? Forget launching a beta, ask for funding, and just go indie all the way. Well, it depends on what your overall goal is. At least for our project, one of the reasons to do a beta is to know how much money we want to spend for a real launch. So if you do a small beta and you don't get much interest, or the game doesn't stick, then you know that if you had launched it large and like spent money on marketing, that you're not going to get any return on that. So our main thing was not like bug fixes or something. It was mainly, you know, let's see how big the game is so we know how long we should work on it before, like, we're just like, all right, dude, we've been working on this for like a year. We will never get our money back from this. Like, we need to think about getting real jobs, you know. Alright, so we'll return that reference there. And get that. So let's start that building. So we have this get mission data function, which we need to start calling then. Alright, so missions were updated. You coded something for no reason for a month? Nice. Yeah, well, I find that side projects and stuff like that usually end up being really valuable, even on larger projects at like Amazon, etc. Hack day projects and things. We used it. Like, I made this game Punchball, which had this state machine and this big JavaScript, whatever the hell, in there, and it was just a small hack day game that I kind of worked on over a weekend or two, and we used it to load test all of our infrastructure later because the JavaScript framework for the game engine actually was like, hey, we can write all of our tests in this thing and run this all over the place, and it works. So you never know when that stuff's going to come in handy. Okay, so on missions updated, that'll start working. So what we need to do is actually create our mission clone objects. Okay, so we need to organize these all into categories, and then we need to organize, because it should be like this. So I'm going to need to clone a div and then start attaching stuff to this. So let's go to our widgets. Which one? Which screen has a good example of this stuff? I think the multiplayer leaderboard screens. Stat leaderboard screen. Alright, so we're going to need this clone object. So this is going to be a mission category clone. Why did you decide just Steam? Well, the idea for this game is, like, we're not just Steam, right? Like, we're not on Steam right now, but you can still play our game. Our main launch target being Steam is just that's our first one, and if that works, we'll take it to more. It's a really big market, and it's proven to work, so why not Steam? Would be my kind of my first question there. Alright, so we need a mission category container. So mission container, mission category container. So if I copy paste this, then I've got another category here with all this stuff on it. All right, that's good. So we want this right here. So ID is going to be mission selection, mission category, clone. And let's set our style display none so we can hide it. And this guy, we're going to do the same thing, but this guy is going to be like this. Mission clone. And then we'll do the same style equals display none. Thought Steam was a lower market compared to consoles. My main reason personally is I could always get away with the beta and fund, but I said screw everything and run with it. Do indie stuff. Well, at least for me, getting into doing independent development. Mission, what? Line clone? I'm not in it for a whole bunch of money. If I was, I'd be working at a job that consistently pays more money, and I'd be just, you know, doing that whole thing. But Steam is a really big market. Like, Steam has had huge growth. There's a lot of people on there, and there's a lot of people on Steam who pay money. That's not saying the consoles aren't a large market, but console development also, you don't have nearly as much control over your content and all that. So, you know, and there's no reason we can't launch on consoles later. So it's more kind of a combination of risk and time to market and the scale of it. And that just makes sense for us. So I don't really know what makes sense for you. Also, my experience has mainly been on PC launches. Like, I haven't actually launched an Xbox game. I've worked on backends for stuff, but, you know, I'm going to go towards my experience just because it makes me feel like I know what I'm doing. I think I can just attach these things to this. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's see, this will be the mission selection, mission. Let's see, mission selection cat, mission container. Do it that way. So we'll attach things inside of there. Alright, so we'll do a mission container. Okay, so that'll do that. So we want, let's see, expand, and we want contract as functions. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so we want this root node click, it's going to be function. So var this equals this dot toggle equals function if this dot m expanded, this dot contract, else this dot expand. Okay, so what we're going to do to expand is we're just going to do this dot mission container dot show, and then we'll do dot hide on that. So if we're going to attach something, we're going to attach it to this guy. I think it's the append function. Let me just check real quick. What do you think of the new God of War? It makes you ultra mad. Wait, what? Why are you mad about God of War? I don't really have many thoughts about it since I have been mainly a PC gamer and haven't really gotten into like God of War. I think I played one of them and I was like, this is. I played Rise when the Xbone came out, and I was like, these are pretty graphics. And then after a while, I was like, this is too many QuickTime events. And then I never played it after that. Let's see what this is. Yeah, it's just dot append. So that's fine. Cannot read property mroot node of null. Unexpected token 919. Yeah, that makes sense. So what we got right now is we got nothing over here, which is exactly what we should have because we have no missions. They changed the whole fighting system. I mean, why change what's not broke? Oh man. I just like, as far as I'm concerned, like I don't know a whole heck of a lot about God of War other than there's a lot of God of War games. It's been very successful, and there's a lot of people who really like it. I mean, so if they're gonna go change the whole thing around, that'd be like you have Dark Souls, and Dark Souls is it's a pretty simple game. You know, it's all about you hit buttons at the right time, and your character does moves and telemarking what they're doing. So you're like, that guy's gonna do this move. I need a dodge roll. I need to cast this thing. You know, and then about having you memorize what all the enemies are gonna do, and then do it to kick their ass, and you feel real good about it. And if they change that, if they change Dark Souls, right, and just took out like the bloodstain system, or they made it so there were more like quick time like blocking events, where it's like, you know, jam on the X button to reflect something, like people would be super fucking angry about that. And I think they would be fully justified in that anger, because that's like the whole game is that it's not that. Be like, hey, here's the next Sim City. It's a social game. You're like, I don't play Sim City to talk to anyone else. I play Sim City to stay in my basement and avoid the rest of reality. Thank you very much. You think they did it on purpose? Yeah. Okay, so mission clone. What was all this shit? Oh, Adam probably just I took this out, right? That was me. I should blame Adam for everything. That's actually my fault. Okay, so if we're in game, we do this. Otherwise, this dot create debug mission data. Let's go ahead and make some debug mission data. So we need missions. So var missions equals new equals this guy. missions look like this. I mean, I actually can just pull up the generated stuff for this. I don't need to rely on it. Okay, so I can just make a new F missions. And then let's go generate some missions. So let's do like for var I equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. Let's do var mission equals new F mission missions dot push mission. So what do we need for a mission? Actually, I should do for var I equals 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. Let's do category equals category I. And then this will be an inner loop. It's kind of funny today, on one guy on Facebook posted an article about how interviewing at tech companies is awful and how they expect you to do all this homework, quote unquote, before, you know, deciding to hire you or not. And it's just like, because I've been on the other side, like my entire career, except for like the first 4 months, I've always been the guy hiring, or like me interviewing has been the easiest thing ever once I actually got into the industry. It was just like, oh, you're a server engineer? Just like, please fucking help us. So it's interesting to see kind of the other side of some of it. But it really just came off of just people saying like, oh, you know, they asked you to do all these tests, and then you have to do these in-person interviews, and you have to do all this, and it's unfair. It's unfair to the workers. And then, you know, some people steal your sample code and use it in a production application. And I'm like, you know, if they're going to do that, you didn't want to work for them anyway. I mean, that's a fucking horrible idea, to like take sample code from people who don't write anything in your coding style and use it. Like, cool, now it doesn't work, or there's bugs in it, you know, good job finding them. I don't know, it just struck me as really just people mental gymnastics. You know, it's not me failing at interviews, it's that all these companies are evil. And it's like, dude, maybe you should step back and like be like, maybe I suck at my job. I don't know. It's like, on the other side of that equation, interviewing people, I'm always like, I want to hire you. I've never been in that interview to like get anything other than you a job. You know, like, please God, if you can solve my problems, I will do whatever you need. Yeah. So let's do lock name, mission, plus J, plus exclamation mark, header, do the things, description. This is, let's see, mission. I should put this in the gameplay script. That way I can just like call this thing and then it throws the event with a whole bunch of shit on it. So let's throw this at the bottom here. Let's do Dashkin gameplay.prototype. Yeah, like create debug mission data, and let's see, I need to actually call the generated event code. Yeah, Advance. Select mission. Mission data updated. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to take all this trash and throw it over here, and this guy down here is instead just going to call ggameplay.create debug mission data, because we're going to use this in other screens. So we can just trash this thing. I don't know, it's just one of those things, you look at it and you're just like, you can see exactly what happened to this person, that they were interviewing forever and ever and being very unsuccessful, and then they just, at some point they snapped and they're like, there's something wrong, you know, it's that, you know, Simpsons, where you've got the principal, he's like, no, am I out of touch? No, it's the interviewers who are wrong. It's like, oh, dude. Like, this is your brain rationalizing your decisions. This is mission, blah, out of, this is mission, blah, let's see. Like, take a Udemy course and like, yeah, exactly, you know, it's like, maybe you're just not qualified for this, and the reason they have you do all these tests is because, you know, they're not sure if you're any good. Because the only reason we gave people tests was we didn't know. Like, after, like, my last round of interviewing, like, sure, I had to do an on-site interview for things, but it wasn't, like, they give me a coding test, and I'd just be like, I'm not going to do that. And, you know, they'd be like, well, why not? I'm like, because it's a waste of my time, and I don't need to do that. You know, like, if you can't just look at what I've done and bring me in, then, you know, there are plenty of other places that will. So, like, it's just a waste of my fucking time. So just bring me in or don't. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Not a problem. And, you know, doing on-site and whatever is just, that's more cultural fit. Like, if you're on-site, they want you. If you're on-site and then you get a coding test, they probably shouldn't hire you. Yeah, see your skills. Alright, this is mission, blah, in category plus category. And you need to do the things, etc., etc. Alright, so context is offline, the player number is 1, the skill rating should be math.random times 5, and then we just do math.floor on that. I think, does math.random ever go to 1? I don't think so, so this will be 0 through 5 or whatever, so we should do 5 and then add 1. Mission category. The category needs to be one of our actual categories, doesn't it? We actually have enums for categories. There it is. Now, I have the enums here. Maybe I should use them. Let's do get string for int I. Alright, so stages, we're going to need stages. Yeah, for a fresh out of college coder, yeah, you need to give them some homework. And actually, the right out of college coder, they're used to doing homework. So it's a pretty good test of if they're actually going to be compliant or not. Because the biggest problem with just people fresh out of college is you don't know if there's somebody who really does work and is going to do well in the workforce taking instructions from somebody. I see you, Jeff. I don't think so, buddy. Oh, you jerk. He's trying to get me in the sudden death, too. I got 0 seconds to score this goal. But at least Jeff didn't steal my win streak. I don't know. Like, and also what I noticed was when people... Jeff has left the game. Did he already leave? Yeah, he's done. What I noticed is if you go to a place that has a bunch of interview questions, usually that's because they've hired people that really sucked. So they've been working on their interview process, right? Like if they've actually gone through and done that, that means they had to actually go do that because they had poor experiences with candidates. And it depends. It may be that part of that wanting to make a very complex interview process, it gets worse when you can't fire people. So, like, if the reason is, like, secretly the reason you want to really clamp down your hiring process is because, you know, Jim Bob over in the corner is a total douchebag, and we don't want to hire any more Jim Bobs because fuck that guy. Alright, so mission.stages push stage. And I've seen that a lot where, like, if you see a big ass hiring thing for people and tons of questions and sample code, it's like, you know what? Either they're really arrogant and somebody sat down and wrote like some test because, you know, they're like, I don't want any more of these fucking assholes working for me. Or they have like a toxic situation where it's like, we can't have another one of you, Jim Bob. But we can't fire you, Jim Bob, because of corporate headcount. So instead, we're just all going to talk about you behind your back and make sure to never hire anybody like you ever again. So that's I've seen that. So if you go to a company and like they have all this crazy bullshit, maybe you don't want to work for them. I guess that's also kind of it's also kind of a privileged thing. It's like I haven't really had a whole hell of a lot of trouble finding work, so I can sit on my high horse and be like, well, of course, it's you fucking plebs who can't get jobs because you suck at life and all that. How dare you not have made, you know, life choices like accidentally getting hit by a car. How dare you have made the decision to throw yourself in front of a bus on accident and now you have medical bills. You know, like, there's also that where I really, like, from my perspective, I've been very fortunate, so. This is failure for stage, blah. This is completion for stage, blah. So, whatever. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. So game mode stuff, we don't need to do anything with that. Actions, we don't need to do anything. Win conditions, we do need some win and loss conditions here. So how about just one? Like one win and one loss? Or two? Yeah. I hear that. Is that Jeff again? Jeff has scored 4 fucking goals already. Alright, Jeff. Alright. I see how it is. Oh, he's on the red team now. Well, I'm switching to blue. Because... Get this out of here. I want my 4 goals. And if you can't tell, I am kind of a heartless bastard. So that's just how it is. Man, I'm not getting these. Yeah, that was all me. None of it was Jeff and cheating by switching teams. Alright, so stage stat win conditions push condition. Maybe I could spell condition properly. That's cold, I know, yeah. I never claimed to be a good person. Let's see. So we have the condition dot condition. We have a threshold and we have a comparison. So let's just grab a condition value from our enums. Alright, so condition value dot, let's just do get string for int. Let's just do L plus 5. Threshold, let's just do math.random times 20. And then math.floor that, and then add 1. Comparison, we're just going to use the equals. Comparison for that. So win condition, loss condition. I'll be like, I get hit by a bus, the ultimate coder, and we'll outcode you. That's true. Alright, so we have our actions. So next thing is going to be these result tiers. Okay, so for every one of our result tiers, we need to add a thing. Is Jeff still in here? Scoring goals? Yeah, it looks like he is. Damn it! Damn it, Jeff! I'm trying to do work here. You're delaying the mission system by not letting me grind goals. You jerk. No, he left. I see how it is. He's like, my work here is done. I see how it is. I'll take the tie. I can't complain about poor people at the same time as I code and play the game. I can only do 2 of those at once. It's a tough world. Alright, so these guys, I believe, are arrays of comparisons. So we've got our result tier, which is a list of conditions. Alright. So I'm going to need these conditions. So let's just do var conditions equals an array here. So we'll add all these conditions in here. You broke my winning streak the other night? I did. When was that? Was it when I jumped in to help Adam or something and scored a goal and ended it and threw everything out of whack? Alright, so result tier, basically we need bronze to be equal to conditions, and silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. I had a downfall, but it came up king. Yeah. Adam has got much better at the game. Well, don't tell him that. Tell him he's getting worse. Just always tell him he's getting worse. Because we don't want him. We want to keep his ego as low as possible. Because I'm an evil person. Actually, yeah, he has been getting better, and you can tell because he's been grinding out tons and tons of stuff here. All right, so for these objectives, actually, let's do like 5 objectives. Stage, yeah, let's just staged objectives. Push objective L. Color scheme is going to be default. Okay, so we got our stages. That's what it looks like. Rank status time, we've got a result tier. I'm going to go ahead and throw these conditions just up at the top here so we can use them anywhere. So we can just add these in for these guys. Yeah, that's one thing that is interesting about this game is there's a real high ceiling for difficulty. You definitely get a lot better over time. Alright, we have win conditions and loss conditions. Those are actual conditions, aren't they? So I can just go ahead and set them equal to conditions. And that should be alright. Alright, so the objective L. What is that, HTML? Yeah, this is just the UI for this stuff is written in JavaScript and CSS and HTML stuff. So that's what I'm working on. On missions updated of undefined. You had 4 games where you won by 1, then the last game you won by 4 goals. Oh man. So you averaged it out. Well, that was what he was saying. Is he said he got worse every single game, and then you just annihilated him. And I was like, "You're getting tired, Adam. You're getting tired." Okay, so this one is Dashkin JS 49 mission selection screen 93. Well, that's pretty clear. We have not set what this reference is. Okay, so we've got missions updated. So we did get this going on. We did get called right here, and we need to go through for every category and do that. So I hate iterating over JavaScript maps. So let's see, we're going to go through for every mission. And let's have a category map. I need to get back focus. Yeah, maybe some of those more predatory kind of interview tactics are more prevalent outside of games, because I've never seen a game company that engaged in those. And that might just be because my subset of experiences with game companies, and maybe there's less, that's less often the case, that because in a game everything's so interconnected and so spur of the moment that you can't just take a system. But I could see if you had like a storefront website or something, and you ask somebody to write a database layer, and like you write it and it's like it's done and it's just going to sit there for 2 years, like maybe they're right. Maybe I am the one who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, it's never happened before, but it's a possibility, right? So on missions updated, we've got our category map. We are going to need our current missions. So M mission categories. So we're going to need that. What we're going to need to do to update everything, I think, is just get rid of them. That'd be the easiest thing. We'd basically just do this mission categories savi.m root node. Is that what I called it? lm.root node. And we'll just call remove on it. And we'll just make a new array out of it. Because I could see in another business world sort of thing where it'd be a lot easier to steal stuff, but for a game, it's real hard to steal anything from anybody. Like, it's like, alright, cool, we stole the jump code from Mario. You're like, well, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to make the rest of the game. Just, you need to do things, like when you jump, like throw fireballs, right? Now there's a bug in the code. What are you going to do? Call up the guy who interviewed and be like, hey, dude, you interviewed with us like 5 months ago and we used your code. Can you fix it? Like, who is this? Can I get your address? Right. My lawyer will be speaking to you shortly for damages. Okay, so we want to do if the category map dot what dot has, and then we want mission dot category, right? Mission dot category equals false. Then we're going to need to make a new category. Alright, so what do we need to pass in here? We need to pass in the category and the screen.